I never thought I'd become one of those guys who finds out his wife is cheating in the most cliché, humiliating way possible, but here I am. And yeah, before anyone asks, I didn't go looking for it. I just happened to be in the wrong place at the worst possible time. My wife and I had been married for 7 years. No kids, just us. Things weren't perfect, but I genuinely believed we were stable. Comfortable. The kind of couple that had survived the hard phase, already. Looking back now, that's probably when everything started falling apart. It didn't happen all at once. It was small things at first. She became distant. Not cold exactly, just distracted. Like her mind was always somewhere else. She'd sit next to me scrolling on her phone, smiling at something, and when I'd ask what it was, she'd lock the screen and say, "Nothing, just stupid stuff." She started going out more too. At first it was girls' nights. Then it turned into random errands at weird hours. Late evening grocery runs. Quick drives to clear her head. Sometimes she'd leave without even telling me where she was going. And I trusted her. That's the part that makes me feel the most stupid. I trusted her completely. But there were moments, little flashes where something felt off. Like when she started putting her phone face down all the time. Or when she suddenly changed her password after years of not caring. Or when she'd take calls in another room and lower her voice. I remember one night specifically. She was in the bathroom, door locked, whispering on the phone. I knocked, jokingly asking if she was running a secret business in there. She laughed it off when she came out, said it was just her friend venting about her boyfriend. I believed her. God, I wanted to believe her. The tension kept building, though. It's hard to explain unless you've lived it. It's like your gut knows something's wrong, but your brain keeps trying to protect you from the truth. Then came the fights. Out of nowhere, she started snapping at me over nothing. The dishes. The way I folded laundry. The fact that I work late sometimes, even though that had never been an issue before. It felt like she was trying to create distance. Like she needed a reason to be angry at me. I asked her directly once. "Are you happy?" I said. She didn't even hesitate. "Of course I am." Why wouldn't I be? But she wouldn't look at me when she said it. That should have been my wake-up call. Instead, I tried harder. I planned a weekend getaway. Bought her flowers randomly. Tried to bring back whatever we had lost. She appreciated it, but it felt forced. Like she was playing a role instead of actually feeling it. And then came the night everything changed. It was a Thursday. I remember because I had worked late and decided to grab takeout on the way home to surprise her. When I got home, the house was empty. No note. No message. Nothing. I texted her. "Hey, where are you?" No reply. I called. Straight to voicemail. That wasn't normal. She always answered. Always. At first, I told myself she was probably driving. Or at a store. Or maybe her phone died. But something in my chest tightened. That feeling, that gut instinct. I waited about 20 minutes. Then I called again. Still nothing. I checked her location. Yeah, we shared locations. Her idea, actually. She always said it made her feel safer. Funny how that works. Her location showed she wasn't at a store. She was parked somewhere. Not near home. Not near any place she had ever mentioned. Just a random spot on the map. A parking area near a quiet side road on the edge of town. I stared at it for a long time, trying to come up with a normal explanation. There wasn't one. I don't even remember grabbing my keys. I just know I was suddenly in my car driving. Fast. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. My hands were shaking on the steering wheel. Part of me kept hoping, begging, that I was overreacting. That I'd get there and find her sitting alone, crying, or thinking, or doing literally anything that made sense. But deep down, I think I already knew. The drive felt like it took forever, even though it was probably less than 15 minutes. The closer I got, the worse the feeling became. When I turned onto that quiet road, everything went silent. No traffic. No people. Just a few parked cars scattered along the side. And then I saw her car. I recognized it immediately. Parked slightly off the road, near a patch of trees. At first, it looked still. Then I noticed something. Movement. Subtle, but unmistakable. The car was shaking. Just slightly. But enough. My entire body went cold. For a second, I couldn't breathe. I just sat there, staring at it from a distance, my brain refusing to fully process what I was seeing. And then something inside me snapped. I opened the door and stepped out. And started walking toward the car. I don't remember deciding to walk faster, but suddenly I was almost running. Every step felt heavier than the last, like my body was trying to stop me from seeing what I already knew was there. The closer I got, the clearer it became. The windows were fogged up. The car was still moving. Subtle, rhythmic. There was no more doubt. No more denial. Just this crushing, sickening certainty. I stopped a few feet away. For a second, I just stood there, staring at the passenger side window, trying to gather myself. My heart was pounding so loud it felt like it was echoing in my skull. Part of me wanted to turn around. To get back in my car. To pretend I never saw it. To go home and keep living in that lie a little longer. But I couldn't. I stepped closer. And then I knocked. Hard. The movement inside the car froze instantly. Dead still. For a moment, there was nothing. No sound. No movement. Just silence. Then I heard frantic rustling. Whispers. Panic. I knocked again, louder this time. Open the door. My voice didn't even sound like mine. It was low, controlled, but there was something underneath it. Something dangerous. The driver's side door jerked open. And there she was. My wife. Hair messy, breathing heavy, eyes wide with pure shock. For a split second, she just stared at me like she had seen a ghost. Then everything exploded. "What the hell are you doing here?" she snapped, way too fast, way too defensive. Like I was the one who had done something wrong. I didn't even answer. I just looked past her. And that's when I saw him. A guy. Young. Way younger than me. Early 20s maybe. Shirt half on, face pale, eyes darting between me and her like he was trying to figure out how to escape. Something inside me twisted so hard it felt like it physically hurt. That's not what it looks like," she said quickly, her voice shaking but still trying to sound confident. I actually laughed. I couldn't help it. A short, empty laugh that didn't carry any humor at all. "Not what it looks like," I repeated. My hands were shaking now, but I kept them at my sides. I didn't want to give them the satisfaction of seeing me completely lose control. She scrambled out of the car, trying to block my view. "Listen to me, okay? You're overreacting. We were just what?" I cut her off. She hesitated. That 1 second of silence said everything. The guy in the car didn't say a word. He just sat there, frozen, like if he stayed still enough, he might disappear. I looked back at him. "You want to explain?" I asked. He swallowed hard, shook his head, and looked away. "Coward. See?" She jumped in quickly. "It's nothing. He's just a friend. We were just talking and it got emotional. Emotional. In a parked car. In the middle of nowhere. At night. I felt something inside me crack." "You think I'm stupid?" I asked quietly. Her expression changed for a second. The confidence slipped. The panic came through. But only for a second. Then she doubled down. "You showed up out of nowhere, spying on me, and now you're accusing me of something insane. This is exactly why I've been distant lately. You're suffocating me." I just stared at her. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. She was actually trying to turn this around on me. I looked at the car again. At the fogged windows. At the guy who still couldn't meet my eyes. And then back at her. "Get out of my way," I said. "What?" she snapped. I said move. She didn't. So I stepped around her and went straight to the passenger side, yanked the door open. The guy flinched. Up close, he looked even younger. And terrified. "Get out," I told him. He hesitated. "Now." He didn't argue this time. He scrambled out of the car, barely even putting his shoes on properly. He wouldn't look at me. Just kept his head down like that would somehow make him invisible. "Who is he?" I asked, looking straight at her. "No one," she said immediately. "No one?" I repeated. She crossed her arms defensively. "Just someone I met. It doesn't mean anything." That sentence hit harder than anything else. It doesn't mean anything. 7 years of marriage. Reduced to nothing. I felt the anger rise up, sharp and uncontrollable, but underneath it, there was something worse. Something heavier. I looked at her, really looked at her, and for the first time, I didn't recognize the person standing in front of me. Get your stuff, I said quietly. What are you talking about? She asked. I'm done. She scoffed. Oh, please. You're being dramatic. You're not throwing away our entire marriage over a misunderstanding. I didn't respond. I just turned around and started walking back to my car. And for the first time that night, I wasn't shaking anymore. I heard her heels hitting the pavement behind me. Fast. Angry. Are you seriously walking away right now? She shouted. I kept going. For once, I didn't feel the need to explain myself. I didn't feel the need to argue, defend, or fix anything. I just felt done. She grabbed my arm and spun me around. You don't get to just leave like this, she snapped, her voice shaking between anger and panic. We need to talk about this. I slowly pulled my arm out of her grip. There's nothing to talk about. That hit her. I could see it in her face. Not guilt. Not regret. Just the realization that she was losing control of the situation. You're overreacting, she said again, softer this time, trying a different approach. It wasn't serious. It didn't mean anything. That sentence again. Like repeating it would somehow make it better. Exactly, I said quietly. That's the problem. She frowned, confused. What? You threw everything away, for something that meant nothing. For the first time, she didn't have an immediate response. But it didn't last. She rolled her eyes, crossed her arms. You're acting like you've been perfect this whole time, she said. You've been distant too. You work all the time. You're never really there. There it was. The blame shift. I almost smiled. Not because it was funny, but because it was so predictable. So this is my fault? I asked. I didn't say that, she replied quickly. I'm just saying things haven't been good between us for a while. And your solution was this? I gestured toward her car. She sighed dramatically, like she was the one exhausted by this conversation. I made a mistake, okay? People make mistakes. Mistake. That word felt so small compared to what I had just seen. I looked past her. The guy was still standing near the car, awkward, unsure what to do. He looked like he wanted to disappear into the ground. Does he know you're married? I asked. She hesitated. That was all I needed. I let out a slow breath. Of course he doesn't, I said. I didn't think it was relevant. She snapped, suddenly defensive again. I shook my head. That tells me everything. She stepped closer to me, lowering her voice like she was trying to pull me back in. Listen, we can fix this, she said. It was just something stupid. I was bored, okay? I needed attention. That's all it was. Bored. I felt something inside me go completely numb. 7 years. Shared memories. Plans. Trust. Reduced to boredom. I looked at her for a long moment, trying to find even a trace of the person I thought I knew. There was nothing there. Just someone trying to manipulate the situation to avoid consequences. I'm filing for divorce, I said. The words came out calm. Clear. Final. Her expression changed instantly. No, you're not, she said quickly, almost laughing. You're just emotional right now. I'm not, I replied. Yes, you are, she insisted, stepping closer again. You're hurt, I get it. But this doesn't have to be the end. We can go to therapy. We can work through it. I didn't move. Didn't react. Just looked at her. And I think that's when it finally hit her. This wasn't like our usual arguments. I wasn't going to back down. I wasn't going to chase her. I wasn't going to fix what she broke. You're seriously throwing everything away? She asked, her voice rising again. Over one mistake? I let out a quiet breath. No, I said. You did that. Silence. For the first time since I arrived, she didn't have anything to say. No excuse. No argument. No manipulation. Just silence. I turned away again and walked back to my car. This time, she didn't follow. And as I got in, closed the door, and started the engine, I realized something I hadn't expected. I didn't feel relief. Not yet. Just a deep, heavy emptiness. Like everything I thought my life was, had just collapsed in a matter of minutes. And there was no going back. The drive home felt unreal. The road was the same. The turns were the same. The lights, the houses, everything looked exactly like it always had. But it felt like I was driving through someone else's life. I kept replaying it in my head. The car. The movement. Her face when she saw me. The way she tried to twist everything like I was the problem. By the time I got home, I just sat in the driveway for a while, engine off, staring at nothing. 7 years? Gone in less than an hour. I don't know how long I sat there, but eventually I went inside. The house felt different. Empty. Not physically, everything was still there, but something had shifted. Like the meaning of it all had disappeared. I walked into the kitchen, saw the takeout I had brought sitting on the counter, untouched. That hit harder than I expected. I had been thinking about surprising her. About doing something nice. While she was out there, with him. I didn't eat. I just went upstairs and started packing a bag. Not out of panic. Not out of anger. Just clarity. I wasn't staying in that house pretending anything was normal. About an hour later, I heard the front door open. Her voice echoed through the house. Hello? I didn't answer. Her footsteps moved quickly, almost nervously, until she reached the bedroom. When she saw the bag, her expression changed instantly. What are you doing? She asked. I told you. I said calmly. I'm done. She closed the door behind her. No, you're not, she said, shaking her head. You don't just leave. This is our home. It was. I corrected. That word hit her. I could see the frustration building again. So that's it, she snapped. You're just going to run away instead of fixing things? I looked at her. Really looked. And for the first time, I felt no urge to argue. No urge to convince her. No urge to explain myself. I'm not running, I said. I'm choosing myself. That shut her up for a second. But only for a second. You're being selfish, she fired back. People go through worse than this and stay together. I almost laughed. Then you should have thought about that before, I said. Her face hardened. So you're perfect now? She asked. You've never made a mistake? I zipped my bag slowly. Not like that, I said. Silence again. Thicker this time. More real. You're really doing this, she said quietly, like she was finally starting to understand. Yeah. She looked at me for a long moment. And then, for the first time that entire night, her voice softened. I said it didn't mean anything, she said. Why isn't that enough for you? I paused. Then I looked at her one last time. Because it meant everything to me. She didn't respond. Didn't argue. Didn't yell. She just stood there. And I think that's when it finally hit her, not that she got caught, but that she actually lost me. I picked up my bag and walked past her. No drama. No shouting. Just done. As I stepped outside, the night air hit me, cold and sharp. It felt real. For the first time since all of this started, it felt real. I didn't know what came next. I didn't know how long it would take to rebuild, to move on, to feel like myself again. But I knew one thing. I wasn't going to stay somewhere I wasn't respected. If you're reading this and something feels off in your relationship, don't ignore it like I did. Trust your gut. Ask questions. And if the truth comes out, don't let someone convince you that your pain isn't valid. Because once trust is broken like that, there's no going back to what it was. Only forward. And sometimes, forward means walking away.